Round one, heat two, Tatiana Weston-Webb, number 4 in the rankings. Winner of the Vans US Open, up against Laura Enever and Alessa Quizon. Of course, Laura Enever and Alessa Quizon in that requalification story, whereas Tatiana Weston-Webb trying to get herself into that world title talk.
Really having a plan A and plan B and even a plan C if you can. It's just about finding these nuggets. Looks like Laura's found one. Oh.
So Laura Enever, we've seen her backhand perform at such a high level. So it's important to win these first round heats.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it just gives you that opportunity to skip round two, not find yourself in a position to get last place in this event. It's so daunting.
As you see Tatiana now on her backhand. So solid both on her forehand as well as her backhand, winning tons of amateur events at lower trestles on that solid backhand.
She's got some work to do.
The first 4 events finishing equal third. As we see some live action here, Tatiana Weston-Webb on the backhand, carrying a ton of speed around this final section and just unloads. Again, perfect timing there from Tatiana Weston-Webb to be able to get that maneuver in as that wave coming and wedging at her, and able to complete the move before the whitewater just wanted to take her board out from under her feet.
Yeah, the foresight of doing that maneuver early before it really just closed out on her, just so important. And you can see the spray that she throws and the force that she put into that turn, that low center of gravity really giving her.
Doing here?
Well, she's doing that run around. Let's just have a look at this replay. Talk about that low center of gravity, just, you know, swiveling around her shoulders, keeping that momentum up. And there it is, that hook in the pocket before that wave just decides to unload on the inside, even finding a bit of a whitewater tail slide. Interesting move choice. And then looking for that runaround like Joanne Defay did earlier this morning, getting in that rip and using that to her advantage.
Yeah, and it was really hard.
You had to turn the heat right at the end. Did you hear the score? Did you know what you needed? And then made that move?
No, no, we can't hear anything. Like, I didn't know when it started, I didn't know when it stopped, and yeah, I didn't know how much could I need. But I've been in that situation already, so I was like, so maybe I just need a 3 point, so just keep taking wave and try. And yeah, I got this one at the end with like 1 turn and 2 foamy turn.
Just adapt to the conditions. It's interesting that Joanne kind of kept tabs of what was going on, even saying, you know, I think I maybe need a 3. So really smart surfing from her, just having that mental approach.
And that's exactly what we touched about on, you know, tricky conditions and being able to adapt like that. That is a major strength that she carries.
Yeah, definitely. Saying she wanted the lefts, but was able to, you know, pick off those rights. And Tatiana's also done an amazing job in this lineup, figuring it out so well.
Her last score comes in at a 5.33. Again, looking at this little rip bowl left, getting some maneuvers in, trying to better her 2.67. And it really is, at this point in the heat, almost halfway now in order for you to understand how you would position yourself. Get back to that in a second as we see Tatiana here really quickly driving towards the lip, but going down. And now finally Alessa going to pick up her first wave. Again, a little bit different portion of the beach. So this wave's going to flatten out, but in hopes that she's gets this inside double up section. Again, trying to carry some speed now, getting to the shore break, switches directions, and now goes to her backhand. And a quick climb of the whitewater there, and Alessa Quizon is on the board. Have that sounding board that you talk about. Alessa would most likely have Kaio, her boyfriend, as we watch Tatiana attacking the lip there for her first maneuver, but just the one maneuver. Again, she was slightly improved.
Figure out your spot, and let's just have another look at Alessa Quizon's opening ride. A bigger wave, but it's pretty slopey, but I like the way that that board is able to carry its momentum.
2.8 for this ride.
Yeah, she does a lot of hard work and really doesn't offer up that gift of a big number. So Alessa, 2.80.
Tatiana Weston-Webb has 6 rides in this heat.
List have done that to date, winning a world title in their rookie years. So impressive.
And again, Tatiana pushing that wave count up once again as she has ridden 7 waves already, and 9 minutes to go as she finds this inside connection here. So another great wave choice, trying to improve on a low score of a 3.03. I think she's done that, Rosie.
Yeah, well, we mentioned waves of consequence. She's just so well adapted. Tricky conditions are her strength. She's really making it look fun out in this lineup as we have another look at this wave from her. I like the way that she drops down for a deep bottom turn, just staying in that critical section gives her the ability to crack it straight up in the lip. As soon as it gets flat, she works that board to try and find some momentum. Looking for this inside connection is so important, just to show that you're committed to this ride. So Tatiana making light work of the conditions on hand at the moment.
So here's Laura Enever picking up this wave on the break, a 4.0.
Yeah, important ride for Laura to get herself back in this heat. See her just trying to maneuver through these sluggish sections. This is where it starts to stand up a little bit. She gets to stamp that maneuver there. Just looking for that little bit of kind of lip to work with. It doesn't really offer itself up to her.
And this is Alessa Quizon. Already has a 2.8 in her scoreline. This is wave number 2 with 7.5 minutes to go. We'll take you to the outside section here on the replay, but finishing up through the inside. Again, no adjustments being made by Laura or Alessa.
It's like Tatiana's kind of finding more of that steeper section. You see Alessa out on the outside. This is the beginning section of her wave. You see it just doesn't really give her that lip or that wall where she can get her backhand moving. She's really waiting for this wave to reform to find any kind of scoring potential.
This wave coming in at a 2.70 does not, well, it doesn't factor into her two-wave total and actually gives her second place for the moment as we have 6 minutes and 25 seconds. Tatiana Weston-Webb, a 5.43, which is the high mark in this heat, which doesn't sound all that impressive as a two-wave total, but has a pretty big lead. As we see Laura Enever now trying to find a 7 or 6.76 on this last wave, but unfortunately digs the rail.
Yeah, that's going to be detrimental to her scoreline. That wave was maybe going to have a bit of potential on the inside. So
by the top seed, Tatiana Weston-Webb, and she's been doing it on these little right-handers.
well, Tatiana just carrying so much momentum through these turns, throwing a lot of spray and really putting the effort in to stay on this bank, and just dominated that peak all to herself. Laura Enever trying to find a bit of wall to work with. You know, it's not her surfing that's kind of not getting her the scores. She just hasn't had the wave with opportunity on it for her to really get going.
Just a 4-point ride for that. Really doesn't have the backup yet, as Tatiana Weston-Webb been able to find a 5.43 and a 5.33 to take the lead into the last 3.5 minutes as we see a tricky Ginchu lineup as we are day 1 of the waiting period, and our commissioner Jessie Miley-Dyer stating that she wanted to utilize what swell we have on hand, because the forecast being that we'd have a bit of swell, but this is a place that can sometimes get too big and not have it be big enough for Carcavelos, so utilizing the swell that we have on tap here.
Every little bit of swell, every bit of wind, it's just really a...
So Alessa looking for a 7.96 with 3 minutes to go. So this could conceivably be her last chance, as she is on her back end here, having to negotiate a ton of white water on the face. Always challenging with all those bubbles on to, you know, get that board to engage. Doesn't feel like she's going to be able to pick up that score she needs here. Receive at least a 6.76 in order to move into first place and skip into round 3 as we see the replay.
Yeah, here we go. Laura Enever, I mean, if she's going to get it, her backhand is a good place to try. You see her go, oh, that was a crazy dismount there, going for the big Hail Mary floater and just getting obliterated by that wave.
You take your 2 worst results and throw them out. So really, if you were to look at Tyler Wright's season at this point, as we see last moment heroics here with 50 seconds to go, and Laura Enever going full stop on that last closeout move. Can't hang on. She goes down as we're down to 45 seconds. It will be very challenging for her to get back out into position. Alessa Quizon is holding court out there as we count it down now in 5 seconds. So it looks like your top seed, Tatiana Weston-Webb, will take the heat win here with a 10.76 as you hear the horn. Tatiana's mom. This is just she would be stoked, but just kind of looking a little bit, that's expected, I guess.